What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, the crypto universe. Today's Friday, November 28th. Now today's dog video, we need to talk about what happens a day after Thanksgiving, and that is today, which is Black Friday. So in today's dog Bitcoin Black Friday video, we want to explain to you why this Black Friday discount gives you an absolute huge advantage with the data I'm about to share with you. Now what I'm going to share with you is that on X, the runes are dead mentions have actually increased over the past month. Now, what does that typically signal? Well, what I'm going to share with you is that if you put the dog chart with the runes are dead mentions on X, you'll realize that that's a signal of a bottom. And almost every single time, there is a rally that happens afterwards. So with that said, I want to share with you why the Bitcoin ecosystem, Bitcoin fungible tokens have yet to experience their parabola event and their Bitcoin meme season, and why this right now on Black Friday is the day to be accumulating as much as you can of dog. So with that said, let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So you may have noticed that dog Bitcoin is almost close to 9% to the downside. Now, if you look over the past 24 hours, yes, that may seem really bad, but if you look over the past week, we're still up 9.53%. Okay, so if you look at Bitcoin's price, Bitcoin is at 90,000. So when I go back over to the dog price, let's compare dog with Bitcoin over the past 24 hours, because it may look pretty negative. Every time that you look at the price on a 24-hour basis, yes, you're going to be really emotional, but if you look over the past week, dog is actually doing quite well. In fact, when dog was pumping, it outperformed Bitcoin by 25%. And right now, where dog is, even though it pretty much is hovering above Bitcoin's gains, it really hasn't experienced a massive dip. We just came back to where Bitcoin's price is, basically in Satoshis, your value hasn't changed. Look for the past month. Month is actually kind of crazy. If you think about it, dog reacts really volatile to Bitcoin's price. So if you've seen that, dog actually outperformed Bitcoin right around here, and then underperformed Bitcoin right around here, and then outperformed Bitcoin again. Now, if we look at some of the meme coins by market, we have some that are down 3%, 2%, 4%. We have one at 5%. We have another one at around 9%. And now dog Bitcoin still around 9%. So this is nothing too strange. This is just the volatility of meme coins, but more specifically something new, which is Bitcoin meme coins. So just today, we just made around $11.69 billion in total trading volume since the launch of meme coins on Bitcoin, aka runes, on April of 2024. Now, this is actually a substantial amount of money within just one meme coin. And keep in mind that we only have one tier 1 centralized exchange listing, which is Kraken. Now, another thing I want to share with you is the amount of holders. Right now, we have 101,000 holders, both on the Bitcoin Layer 1, Solana, and Stacks, and it continues to keep growing. And another thing is that the dog army is absolutely rocking it on X. So regardless of what you're seeing the price, the dog army is still around, because Coinbase made a post saying, "Pick your favorite coin in one word." And I asked Rock, which community has interacted to Coinbase the most in this post? And sure enough, dog won. And even over here, you can see Grok replied to the message saying, based on the sampling of the top and recent replies to the Coinbase post, the dog community has the highest number of engagements and mentions. So shout out to you, dog. You show up every single day, even on holidays. Now, this is something that I definitely want to share with you, okay? So this is from April 2024 all the way up until this month of November 2025. Now, we just saw a huge spike, meaning a spike of when people mention runes are dead on X. Now, when we look at this, when do we see this amount of volume right here? Now, look at November. This is a huge spike, and it's been the biggest since really May of 2024. So let's go and compare this to the price of dog. So up top, you'll see the dog chart and the dog price with the months below it. Then if you put that in correlation to the runes are dead mentions on X, what have you noticed? Well, I'll explain to you right now. Now look in May. We saw a huge spike in runes are dead mentions on X. So we saw a capitulation of that dog price. Then what happened right after? We saw that the dog price was going up in value. We reached around 970, 980 million market cap. But you notice that the runes are dead mentions became weaker and weaker. Then we saw another spike in October and November 2024 where runes are dead and they were coming back up. So if you look at October, runes are dead. Guess what happened shortly after? The dog price went up, met a top. That was a local top. Then it went right back down. We saw another huge spike, which was bigger than October. Runes are dead, happened right over here. And then we saw a major spike and we met a top at around 999 million market cap. Now fast forward. Now there's only one thing that's invalidated here, and that is regarding June. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But look at May. May we saw runes are dead mentions, and that was a bottom, and then we spiked up to the top. And this is where I feel that there was an invalidation. Only 1 month, which was June of 2025, where there was a huge increase of runes are dead mentions on X, but we actually did meet a top, and then we went back down in price. But notice that the dog price, when it was going down these months, you saw that the runes are dead mentions also was kind of lowering itself again. But look at this, we're seeing now a rise in runes are dead again. Now look at November. November looks like it could be a bottom, and this could be the very beginning of what we saw back over here and back over here and back over here. So this is kind of surprising. I did not expect this to happen. I just coincidentally found these two things aligning very well together. And keep in mind, if runes are actually dead, then why are you still talking about it, right? The reason people mention runes are dead is because it's clickbait. It's very easy to get engagement, and if anybody says runes are dead, people will prove it to them that they're not, and so that gives them the engagement to stay relevant in conversations. So the fact that people use runes are dead all the time on X just goes to show that runes are absolutely the opposite. They're very much alive. And today on Black Friday, obviously I'm buying dog, and this is what most of the 1% will do. 99% of people will not buy dips when they're scared because they use their emotions, but because I always provide data and analytics, which I share with you publicly on this channel, that's all I do. And that's why I won on Solana, that's why I won on Bonk, that's why I won on Bitcoin. So I'm applying the exact same rule with dog. It's the exact same thing. Now, if you pay attention to the charting analysis, look at the MACD. MACD is still showing us that the blue and orange line is still heading upwards. It's not heading downwards right now. That's just at the moment. Now, look at the dog price. It actually bounced off of the descending blue trend line. It was almost perfectly. Like, just think about this. Eventually, this has to break out. You can't keep suppressing it for so long because look what's happening with the MACD. There's an inverse pattern going on. While the dog price is going down, the MACD is going up. Eventually, when the MACD gets into the buyer's market, this is going to flip, meaning when it reaches maybe around here between quantitative tightening that ends on December 1st to the December rate cut that possibly is 25 basis point on December 10th, eventually that could be the time where everything reverses. That's where this blue trend line kind of ends. So this to me shows that it could happen at any point between now up until December 10th. And the reason I can always bet on Bitcoin meme coins, I mean, especially dog. Look at dog right now. It's the highest fungible token on Bitcoin. And I want you to look at this market cap, 123 million just at the time of this recording. Now look at BRC20 token Ordi. Now I want to focus on what Ordi's doing. Look at all these exchanges. So Ordi has Binance, Gate.io, OKX, Bybit. So these are major tier 1 and tier 2 exchanges, yet it cannot flip dog in market cap. And why is that? Well, it's because of you guys and girls that are still here today. You believe in dog Bitcoin. You know it's going to do well. That's why the value of this is holding strong compared to the rest of the fungible tokens that are happening on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin fungible tokens are here to stay. They're always going to be here. You can't just, stop innovation. That's not how it works. This is here, and I've proven it to you that really right now, Black Friday is the best day to be buying dog, and you saw it happen within the dog price taking a dip. And you just know that eventually Bitcoin meme coins is next in line to have their meme coin season. Not Ethereum, not Solana. They've already been priced in. These Solana meme coins and Ethereum meme coins have already been priced in. Bitcoin meme coins have not been priced in at all. They only make up roughly around 0.01%. All these other meme coins, by percentage wise, Ethereum meme coins make up 5% and more of their market cap on Ethereum. Solana meme coins are up 3 to up to 5% of the total market cap of their native chain. So just 1% of Bitcoin meme coins of Bitcoin's market cap is literally $10 billion. So no, I'm definitely not going to fade the number one meme coin on Bitcoin, especially on Black Friday. I'm bullish, I'm buying. So now that you've seen the surprising data between runes are mentioned on X in correlation to the dog chart, what do you think is going to happen next? And because I showed you at the very end of the video the charting, don't you think that the dog price is eventually going to rotate out of this bearish trend that we've seen since June of 2025, step into the buyer's market and reverse at some certain point? I tend to believe so, because being oversold can only last for so long. And that's why we're seeing within the MACD that we're stepping slowly and slowly out of the seller's market and eventually into the buyer's market. And that will reflect onto the dog price. So let me know your thoughts down below. Cannot wait to read them. I want you guys and girls to enjoy your weekend as well. So by supporting the channel, please smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.